Good evening and welcome to the Nevis newscast. Today is Thursday, April 28th, 2016. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. The construction of the extension to the Department of Agriculture's Abertura is expected to be completed earlier than previously anticipated. Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, visited the site yesterday and gave this update on the project which commenced in February.
They're doing plastering on the interior of the building, and by later this week they should be plastering the exterior of this building. The roof work has gotten to an advanced stage as well. I believe that the galvanized will be placed on this roof sometime next week. So based on the timelines we are looking at, we were hoping to have construction completed somewhere around August. But at the rate at which we are going here with the construction, I believe we should be done by maybe July. So it means we may have usage of this building in advance of the period of time that we would have earmarked.
Minister Jeffers also took the opportunity to commend the contractor for the project.
What is behind me is testimony of the hard work and the dedication of the contractor and the team that has come here to perform this job. I must commend the contractor, Mr. Edmund Jeffers, who has undertaken this project. And he and his team have done a marvelous job so far to get us to where we are. It was a project that was contemplated since 20 years ago. And over the years it has been budgeted for, or had been budgeted for. And we are now seeing that this building has taken off in terms of the construction and nearing completion. It is an extension of what we currently have from the older site, but there will be a connection from one section to the next. So it is an expansion of the overall square footage of this compound here at Prospect.
The Agriculture Minister notes that the completion of this extension will come with an improvement in services at the Abertura. As the International Labour Organization observes World Day for Safety and Health at Work today, April 28th, it is calling for a collective approach to preventing and controlling the causes of work-related stress. ILO member countries have been observing the day since 2003.
This year's theme is Workplace Stress, a Collective Challenge. This is where we ask for all stakeholders, all partners, to observe workplace stress, the causes of stress, and working ways to alleviate the stress. ILO and all the partners, employers, government, employees have realized that stress kills, stress hinders production, stress is a major factor on the job site, and they are addressing this year ways and means they could make the workplace more safe and secure for all employees.
Chief Labour Officer Gabby Liebert. The Federal Ministry of Labour is hosting a number of activities this week with a focus on preventing and controlling the causes of work-related stress. They include a symposium which was held on Tuesday on St. Kitts.
Some of these high-risk jobs would be like fire officers, police officers, security officers, persons where you would be in the workplace with high demands, competitive environment. The information was well received, and the department is of the view that we have to do a follow-up to encourage all other jobs, because I think stress is in every workplace.
Today, officers from the NIA's Department of Labour joined their counterparts on St. Kitts for the hosting of a stress-free rally at Independence Square. According to Liebert, a similar event will take place on Nevis tomorrow.
On Friday, the Nevis Labour Department will be joined by our comrades from the St. Kitts Labour Department in War Memorial Square, where we also do a rally to talk about stress, high-risk jobs, and ways in which you could alleviate the stress on the job. It would be more like to create awareness to the general public and to sensitize employers and employees about how stress could affect work and production. It starts at 9 and will run up until about 3 o'clock, but please come early because most of the presentation will be done in the morning. There will be presentations from the Labour Department, Labour officers. There will be presentation from the Fire Department with fire officers showing best practice about safety on the job. There will also be presentation from the Sanitation and the Public Health Department showing about identifying about health hazards other health factors that could affect work and productivity.
The key priorities in ILO future action include promoting recognition of psychosocial hazards at work as the origin of work-related stress and other mental health impairments in policies and legislation. The Ministry of Health, through its Community Health Services, participated in what was dubbed the National Switch Day on Tuesday, April 26th. Felicia Liber tells us more.
In observance of Vaccination Week in the Americas, the Nevis Island Administration's Ministry of Health is hosting a week of activities. The week of activities began on Monday in St. Kitts with an opening ceremony as well as the launch of an expanded program on immunization manual. Medical Officer of Health Dr. Judy Nisbet outlined another activity for Vaccination Week.
We are switching from trivalent oral polio vaccine to bivalent oral polio vaccine. So we are getting rid of all the trivalent oral polio vaccines from all the health centers around the island, and this is happening, as a matter of fact, in all the health centers in the Federation. And these will be replaced with bivalent oral polio vaccine.
She also outlined the reason for the switch.
Part of that switch, that eventual switch to inactivated polio vaccine, necessitates us switching first from trivalent oral vaccine to a bivalent oral vaccine. So we are removing serotype 2. Serotype 2 is the serotype that is causing most of the vaccine-derived poliomyelitis cases worldwide. So it's important for us to first eliminate that serotype from the oral vaccine, and then eventually we give only inactivated polio vaccine.
Community Nurse Manager at the Gingerland Health Center, Deslyn Tyson White, spoke about the activity which took place today and also spoke about the final activity in celebration of Vaccination Week in the Americas.
We are holding an island-wide whistle stop where we are going through the different various communities and making stops at the various schools to educate persons on vaccination, encouraging persons, if they don't know their vaccination status, they don't know their immunization status, to come on to the various health centers and inquire. There's a possibility that we would have your immunization records, and if you're not vaccinated or up to date, we would vaccinate you during this week. For tomorrow, Friday, we are having a health fair in the administration building's yard. We are going to be focusing on giving education about vaccination as well as doing HIV testing and any other health information that persons would be seeking. We will be on hand to answer, as well as we'll be doing blood pressure and blood sugar testing. I'm inviting everyone to come on out to the health fair tomorrow. We'll be doing testing for HIV, for hepatitis B. We are going to be doing blood pressure testing and blood sugar testing. We are starting at 9 a.m. prompt.
The theme for Vaccination Week in the Americas is Go for Gold, Get Vaccinated. I'm Felicia Liber reporting for the Nevis Newscast.
Thanks, Felicia. Still to come?
And we hope to do Nevis proud, so come on out and support the Nevis team.
We'll give you the details after this break.
Celebrating the old, showcasing the new. Culturama 42.
Welcome back. More than 70 of the island's primary school athletes are expected to travel to St. Kitts this weekend to participate in a two-day sporting event. The InterIsland Students Track and Field Championship is slated for this Saturday and Sunday. The second edition of the InterIsland Games is a collaboration between the St. Kitts Teachers Union and the Nevis Teachers Union. Today we caught up with the team from Nevis at the Brownhill Recreation Grounds, where the athletes were involved in their final training session.
I think the team is better prepared than last year, experience-wise. So I would clearly say that the team is ready for this meet this weekend, and I'm hoping that all goes well, physically, mentally, emotionally. There'll be no sickness and no hitches or glitches, and everything will go smoothly. So we are quite ready. We're just looking forward to it now. The Inter-Premier has just gone, and you have seen some extraordinary performances. So I'm looking for the same performances in Sinkers this weekend. I mean, you have people like Kenwan Freeman, who is very outstanding, who is the Victoradorian for Inter-Primary. And we have people like Shade Bridgman, and we have Sidanja Fleming. Those are some of the athletes we need to look out for in Sinkers this weekend. Of course, this year it's changed a little bit. Last year, the under-15 would have competed as an exhibition, but this year it's actually a part of the meet. So because they're running it like the CUT games that they normally host every 2 years. So this is like training for the CUT games, which is going to be held later this year. We have people in field events for just about all the events, for high jump, long jump, the cricket ball throw, and the shot put, and of course, the famous 4x1 relays and the medley relay. So it's a packed weekend, and we're going to have track and field on both days. Not just the field events on one day and the track events on another day, as some people would think. Saturday is going to be both track and field, so we're asking people to come out and support the meet. We don't want them to think that it's just Sunday alone. We're going to have all the track events. Of course, there are some people who will be wondering how they're going to get back over to Nevis. And of course, Saturday night, the boat normally leave Sinkers Lake, the Mark Crane. And I'm told to announce that on Sunday night, the Caribbean Crew will be making a special run sometime after the meet to get people back over to Nevis. At this point, I would just like to thank all the coaches who came up from the different schools to help with the training. And of course, we have Jasmine Shefton, we have Jeffrey Lewis, myself as the head coach, I have Delvin Phillip. And there's some people who are helping behind the scenes. We have the coaches from the Ivor Waters Primary School, Mr. Newton and so forth. And of course, Sherman Keynes. Mr. Sharp, Arthur Sharp, has played a big role, he's playing a big role in this meet in terms of sponsoring. And there are some other people who have done well in terms of helping out with the team. Also, I guess I could say thanks to the Nevis Island administration, of course, because they would have played their part, or would be playing their part in terms of sponsorship. We hope to do Nevis proud, so come on out and support the Nevis team, and as we prepare for BVI and future events.
The SKTU NTU InterIsland Games will take place on Saturday, April 30th and Sunday, May 1st at the Kim Collins Athletics Stadium on St. Kitts. Tickets for the games cost $20, for the metal stands or grounds $10, and the children younger than 12 years will pay $5. Members of the Nevis Bus Association were today offering a discount to persons who chose to use the transportation service. Here is more in this report.
The Nevis Bus Association is this week hosting a number of activities to celebrate the re-establishing of the association. The week of activities started on Sunday with a church service at the Shiloh Baptist Church in Ramsbury, followed by a panel discussion on Von Radio's Let's Talk program on Tuesday. Public Relations Officer for the Nevis Bus Association is Charles Liebert.
Today is the big day. Thursday is the dollar run. Anywhere you travel on the buses, anywhere on the island, you pay $1. If it's a half route, you pay an extra $1. But if you come with like your $5, $10, $20, you have to pay the full fee. So today is the big day for the dollar run. It's something the bus drivers are giving back to the general public.
A member of the Nevis Bus Association also gave his views on the initiative.
It's very interesting, and it's giving back the community and general public something, so they will feel pleased about it, real pleased about it. And I think probably every month the Buses Association should do something like this, at least every 2 months, because it's appreciation to giving back to the general public. So they work with us all here, so $1 can't lose.
On Friday, the members of the Bus Association will be on Freedom FM's Island Rhythms radio program at 3 p.m.
On Saturday, we're going to be honoring 6 of our bus drivers who are in the service right now. We're going to be honoring bus drivers like Joseph Brown. You know, he's one of our stalwart. He is like 45 years in the business. We have Ralph Superchick Allen, my uncle. We have Everton Maris. We have Kenneth Warner. We have Surpriser. And then we have one lady that we added is Hillary Liebert. So on Saturday, we're going to honor them right here at the bus stop in town. And then we're going to do a motorcade, a rally around the island. We're going to go to some of the cemeteries and honor some of these bus drivers. You know, a lot of people will be looking at Busman and Alton and a few more bus drivers. And then we're going to be stopping by shops and by bars, having drinks. Everybody enjoy themselves, and then we're going to end up back at the Charleston Villa. On Sunday, the final activities, when coming down to the end, is going to have the fun day at the Villa in Charleston, where we're going to have cricket games. We're going to have the Gingerland bus drivers versus the Newcastle area bus drivers, and then we're going to have tug of war. We're going to have running, we're going to have lime and spoon, all kind of different races. We're going to have domino competition. And also from the cricket game, the best, we're going to pick a team from Nevis, the best between the Gingerland and Newcastle bus drivers versus a team from St. Kitts.
PRO of the Nevis Bus Association, Charles Liburd. I'm Fredisa Liburd reporting for the Nevis Newscast.
Thanks, Felicia. That's it for this evening's edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, thank you for viewing. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. Good night.